leaving a legacy and making sure that the assets are compounding in the most efficient way possible for your kids. It's just more important than you know. Okay. I've had clients that have had $4 to $5 million, didn't do it the right way, and ended up giving the IRS an extra, 600 grand. Okay. Will they take it back? Obviously they would. Right. But you can't go back. You can only go forward. So the fact that people sometimes say, well, I don't need to plan it now, or, and it's like, yeah, but do you really want that time where you have to say, well, I wish I did do something at that time? And you just don't, you don't want it there. Okay. I've seen people, I've had clients that have been in that same position, and it's just not a fun topic to go over with them, because I have to say, hey, if we did this, if you would have came to me earlier, right, things would have been different. And sad enough to say, it doesn't happen a lot of the times. If there's anything that I can push for and make sure all, anybody out there listening, that all your listeners can really grasp today, is get it taken care of. Okay. Whether you trust your guy or not, whether you want to call me or not. Okay. Just know that it is a big deal. And the reason why is because the IRS is now creating laws about it. So if that doesn't show you that it's not a big deal, then I don't know what you need more from that. Okay. The fact that they just said, hey, if you pass after 2020, guess what? We're going to start giving you a 10-year rule. They do that for a reason. I mean, they do it so that you can't take advantage of it. Right. So now it's in their advantage. So you have to make sure that you're doing it the right way for your family and leaving a legacy the right way. Okay. The other thing is also to be able to compound on those assets is more important than anything. Mm-hmm. Okay. 5% of $1 million is not 5% of $100,000. Right. You're looking at a huge increase. So when you have the assets and you have the money to build, that's where you can really, really thrive. And the legacy becomes even a bigger legacy, because, you take $1 million and you double it. That's 2 million, right? You made $1 million in profit, right? You take $100,000 and you double it. The same portfolio, it's only $100,000. Okay. So you're looking at, it's insane. It's 1,000% difference growth. Okay. When you have the money and then you don't let your money sit there. Okay. Don't let it sit in the bank account. Don't let it sit in your savings account. If you're not using it, invest it. Okay. We can invest it in so many different things. You don't have to invest in the stock market. Okay. But invest your money. I've walked across people who are leaving $1 million in their savings in their money market account. I'm like, what are you doing? Right. The opportunity cost of you literally putting it in there is through the roof. Okay. The market last year did what? 20-something%. I mean, you can see it. Right. I mean, sometimes you think to yourself, if I'm being safe, that's fine. The only way you should be safe is if you actually need the money in short term. No one's going to need $1 million. Okay. And you're going to live the lifestyle. You got your house paid off. You have no debt. You're not going to need $1 million in the next two or 3 months. I mean, so leave the legacy, make sure it's working for you, but make sure it's also, compounding and building that legacy. I can't say it enough. Right. And if you need to take money out, great, but take the earnings out. Why are we leaving it stagnant? I make 4% off a CD. I make 40 grand a year. Yeah. That $1 million, sorry to tell you, is going to be worth crap in 5 years, or 10 years, or 15 years. $1 million is going to be nothing. And now to be honest with you, nowadays, $1 million in retirement isn't anything. I mean, I walk across it every single day. So, and back in the day, it was $1 million was a huge thing. I'm a millionaire, but it's just not. Inflation eats away at your money, and it doesn't get any better. And the IRS eats away at your money and your earnings. So, you want to be able to plan and maximize your plan for your legacy and the benefits for you and your estate and your kids and your grandkids, right? And maybe the great grandkids. Okay. But in order to do that, you have to maximize on your compounded returns. And the math doesn't lie, right? You compound that percentage for a certain amount of years, you're going to see the growth difference from just leaving some money in a CD, or maybe an IRA money market, or a cash account, right? 3 or 4%. I mean, you're not doing anything for yourself except maybe slashing a little bit of inflation, and then all of a sudden now you got to pay taxes on that when it comes out anyway. So it's like, what's the difference, right? The biggest part for this, and for all your listeners out there, take advantage of what you have. Take advantage of the funds that can make money, right? There's a reason why Elon Musk and Warren Buffett and everyone else became millionaires and billionaires at a certain point in time. It took them time. Why did it take a short amount of time, okay, at the end? Why are they growing so much now? Because they have money, okay? Money makes money. You can't sit there and say, hey, I got $1 million and I'm not going to spend it. No, take the $1 million and then compound, maximize, right? Turn that million into 2 million. Turn that 2 million into 4. Turn that 4 million into 8. 8 million into 16. 16 to 32. You see the difference, right? When you're compounding and you're doubling as it goes, it's totally different from just saying, okay, 5%, okay, 5%, okay, 5%. It's not the same thing, okay? So for any of you out there that maybe have some money and you're not using it, okay, and it's maybe for the legacy, or it's like, I want to give it to my kids. It should not just be in a savings or a CD or bonds. I mean, come on, compound on what you got. Maybe buy some real estate if you want to, okay, or put it in the market, right? I mean, there's always opportunity in the market, but you have to be able to understand that anything is better than just leaving your assets stable and not creating any wealth and not compounding for either your heirs or for yourself. And that's one of my biggest things.